Hey, hello everyone. So this is Wilson from Nulink Solutions. And today's topic would be about the AI, all right? The AI is about the enterprise. How do we actually deploy the AI in enterprise? So the first question everyone will ask, okay, there are a lot of AI now, from the LLMs to now about the agentic AI agents. And so what's next, all right? So back to a few years before, our company already is working for the many financial institutions for their internal bankings, workflows, etc. So based on our expertise on the infrastructure and application, and combining with the AI nowadays, so we can see that there are a lot of opportunities in the enterprise sector. But many companies, they will say, all right, we have AI, we are doing AI, but everyone's talking about AI, but what is actually that can be used in AI? So we hope that today's section will provide an insight and also a solution of what we actually doing on the deployment on enterprise and what is the actual challenges that every enterprise would face. So let's get it started. And today's topic about very straightforward enterprise private AI strategy and actual production. So we're very stressed on not only the strategy, but also the actual production, all right? Strategy, there are a lot of different ways. You can go to the cloud, you can use any brand, for example, Microsoft, for example, OpenAI, you can use, you name it, a lot. But actually, how do we actually position the whole enterprise layer AI to be more efficient? And today we would like to share with you some practical framework for enterprise AI. So a very quick question. How AI deploy in real enterprise and corporate world? And how do you know that if an AI deployment will actually work in real world? I mean, really in real world, not at home using the prompts, generate some pictures, but in your real business and under real regulatory scrutiny, because there are a lot of regulatory, the compliance department, they will check your company. You'll have auditor, they will check how are you using the AI. So today we will share about some industry paradox. For example, there are a lot of investment, paying for the tokens, etc. But an honest answer from corporate remains about what? About these 4 points. The production deployment, still waiting, right? A lot of companies, they're still waiting. The realized ROI. How do we calculate the ROI? When I use the AI for my company, how would my boss think? My boss will ask me, so, Wilson, how do you calculate the ROI? When you use the AI, how much money are we going to save? Or how much efficiency we're going to increase? So this is a critical question for enterprise. And also for the regulatory sign-off, we have a lot of regulatory department. We have big 4 auditors. They will always ask these kind of questions. And also the pilot to scale reality. That means how do you do from pilot and scale up? From day one, maybe your company is just one office in Hong Kong, but later your mother company, for example, in China or Singapore or other foreign countries, they will ask, how do we enterprise expand this whole AI? This is a whole strategy and implementation thing. And why most enterprise AI projects fail? Basically because of, there are many good demo, but they are just demo. They are not applicable at the real production stage. And also, they're pilot approved and budgeted, right? These are some predictable pattern. And what are the critical deployment questions? So it's about the compliance again. The security, okay, is the data leaving the premise? And also the regulator, what happens when AI makes error? What will happen? If AI goes wrong, the company goes wrong. So what is it? And also the IT, how does it integrate with the legacy system? How? So this is actually what? This is actually architecture problem. And I want all of us to think about a really, really critical question. All right, where does your data go? When you use AI, you can think of when you're using AI to the cloud, your data will go to the cloud, all right? Although the cloud provider, they will say, okay, this data we protect very well, but I can please allow me to dare to say this in this public event. There are some cases that are still questioning about where the data goes. Are you using my data to train? And my data is my company's asset, so they're very precious. Our company is many years to build a customer base, our methodology, but in just one click or two click away, you put all the data to the cloud. You give all the data to your cloud provider, and they use your data. Maybe, I'm not saying that they will train it, but maybe they may use it for some other purpose. I don't know. I'm not saying that is actual, but there is actually some real cases in the foreign countries. They are asking about this. So the most acceptable answer, we can say that your data should within your controlled infrastructure. What I mean control, that means you can actually control. Not that some people ask you, okay, you give me the data, I put it in your data center for you, I take a picture to you, and then that data, you can see that it's here. Yeah, but after some years, after some months, you go there, well, where's my data? Where do you put it? Is it just next to another client? So that is not really, to our sense, it's not really that controlled. And also, another answer is the regulatory risk you are absorbing. And so this is about a cloud AI and private AI. Your cloud AI, your data leaves your premises, and it processes on foreign servers, and it's subject to foreign data law, right? Every different places, they have their own law. And also the regulatory compliance risk, there are a lot. But for the private AI, the whole thing is running inside your infrastructure. And there is zero data resilience outside the premises. And they have full regulatory compliance and match the whole cloud performance on premise. So the private AI, we can say that, it is actually compliant AI. And the second criterion is the real world accuracy vs demos. For example, we take some banking for example. The system accuracy comparison. This is our real data. I can say that this is our company real testing data that we discovered. We discovered that the banking specific AI was trained by ourselves using some models and our engineering. The accuracy is far much higher than the general purpose AI. I can say that the general purpose AI, they're for general purpose, of course. They are about 89% accuracy. It's not bad, right? Not bad. But for the banking specific AI, after training, it can reach around 98. So the whole thing, the money cost and the whole thing, you can see the difference of how the private AI is outrunning the whole performance. And then they will fine-tune like the KYC and the trade documents. And also it handle English, traditional, and simplified Chinese. All these kind of languages, we can already do it. And of course, some Japanese language, Indonesian language. Some client even ask us for some Vietnamese translation. We also do that. So, but today we are focusing on the private AI. So, I can see, we also discovered that around 5,000 documents, the compliance and manual error per month is reduced around 450. This is around 9% gap. Yeah. So every one of us know that if you rely on AI, if they return some bad result to you, and you have to correct them, the whole transition cost and a whole sunken cost, I can say, is very high. It's at least 10 to 20%, at least. And also, the question to ask, what is your accuracy on the real-world document in production? We have to ask the vendor, how accurate is your real document? And they are not benchmark. They are not benchmarking. They are not demo data set. Give me the real data, all right? So we want to let all of us know here, when you select a vendor or you select some solution, maybe we really need to look into these questions to ask. So what is the accuracy? What is the real accuracy? That is the most important thing. So, and the next one is the domain specific specificity. Take banking again as an example. Why general AI is definitely not enough. Banking needs AI in Hong Kong MA regulatory language, yeah, because banking, right? They have to pass a lot of different regulatory solutions. Later on, I will share a slide about Hong Kong MA requirement, and then all of us will know what we actually is doing. And there would be like the decoding or the documentation of the trade finance doc, and also some complex corporate organization ownership structure. We have to do this. So general AI also cannot solve the AML, right? The topology, they cannot. So that's why we have to train that. And also the domain specificity requirement, the fine tuning on the industry specific, and also the data. Yeah, we have to have this kind of knowledge for that. And then for one of the very new idea, and also we are actually working on it, and some model already come out, is the layer space ADFSM, that kind of model fusion. That means we are using some very sophisticated architecture to get the best capability of the LLM, and then to mix it together for the banking and also some enterprise to use. What's the benefit? What's the benefit of that? This is about we can eliminate hallucination, for example, and also deliver the highest score, actual score for each area. For example, I take an example. Some model, they are very good at word. Some model, they are very good at pictures. Some model, they are very good at language, etc. So we take these kind of models, the best part of them, and we use our algorithm to mix them together so that this model would be able to actually target that enterprise use. Because enterprise is not about personal. Personal, we can use a lot of AI. We can generate a lot of pictures. But enterprise, they usually just do that few kinds of regular workflow. So, but if we can just target this kind of special workflow, then the whole value would be more than you put a lot of token to the cloud, and you spend a lot of money, but your boss asks, where does my money go? Where is the effect? So that is kind of like, you cannot answer that, yeah. So that's why the private AI is like this. And the criterion 4, if you find a vendor or you find some solutions, you may refer to this kind of ISO. For example, ISO 27001. The ISO 2701 is Information Security ISO. ISO 42001 is AI Management System ISO. So these two will be the main for the SOC 2 and also the 90221, etc. And also some framework. I can say that the NIST AI framework is back to 201 something, already come out, and the PTPO in Hong Kong, and also the EU AI Act. This kind of ISO is very important for the vendor to claim they can do the AI for enterprise. And also the Hong Kong MA guideline, we can see that there are a few very core guidelines here. They cover from the data sovereignty, the PII protection, and also the inference configuration, access, and audit. So each of them, we have some requirement detail for that. For example, the data sovereignty, it would prefer to have local deployment. And for the protection, we have to have some masking of the data. And for the inference configuration, we have some like what we technical term called the temperature, how to make it actually like the output, etc. So these are all that we address. We need to address this point by point, right? Especially for the finance and regulated industry, for the healthcare also. So these are all the very important criterion here. And the AI spending curve, we also discovered and we can see that the projection is going up. In fact, the Hong Kong financial industry adoption of banking AI is not yet that really high. It's about 30 to 40% below the global general AI spending. And also, there will be some infrastructure CapEx, all right? Some of the cloud API fee, they will consider, well, why I have to pay for the cloud API? So that is something that Hong Kong, I think, we also think that we can see that Hong Kong still has a lot of room for the improvement for this whole projection. So the number 5 criterion it's not just a pilot, it's actually a production. I think we have to ask a question, is your AI just a pilot or is it a production? So a question to ask, is there any real enterprise you're working on? So how is the problem? If the vendor can provide that, then it will be very good. So it will be a very substantial thing, a real enterprise measurable outcome, and actually it's running today. And for the agentic AI, from assistance to action, all right. So actually, these kind of are the steps. For example, the AML steps, right, is from the assistant, assist you, and it actually is going to action, right. So it is, generally this slide is about the shift. It's about agentic AI, the shift. So the AI can help you to plan, to act simultaneously and autonomously. So automatic, they will do the work. And then the compliance officer, they will shift from a role that we can see that from the investigator to a judge, all right? Because the AI, they can check on the actual detail for you already. So it handles the heavy lifting of evidence gathering and the shift as synthesis. So this is a trend now. And these are some agentic AI workflows. So it covers some like examples here. The KYC, account opening. So as the picture is a little bit small, maybe I can quickly go through that. It's different agent. The blue one are actually those agents. The blue one, these are the agents, and this one is about some escalation process. And then going back, this is about the human part. So you can see that each agent here is about the AI. The AI agent, they do all the initial work. And then they will come back, and then they will go to the human. The human will do it in the loop. So these are some kinds of workflows that we are worked on. And so meet Sarah, okay, this compliance officer. We always like to give some really substantial data. For example, every single day, she needs to make a lot of documents, manual data entry, etc. But of course, maybe she's a new guy. But if you use the AI with the flow I mentioned before, the same workload, they can just spend 30 minutes about how to judge the whole output. And because the extraction will be like 1 page per second, the time we are now doing is around 1 page per second. So it's all format, all free languages, and also additional languages. So also auto-structured it into core banking system. So now Sarah is actually investigating more complex cases. And the result is about there is a lot of time saved, right? The production time, and also the daily processing document is much faster on that. And so I will do a little wrap up here. So there will be 5 questions, just a quick wrap up. Where do my data go? What is your production accuracy? How is your AI adapted for, may not be banking, maybe healthcare, education, real estate, etc. And you show the certificate, and you have a proven deployment experience on that industry. Yeah. So I think time is about there. So thank you for the time. So this is my LinkedIn. If you have interest, we are very happy to share more about the experience. And if you have any question, welcome to ask anytime. Our booth is at F22. If you are welcome, we have real demo there. We can show you a demo there. Yeah. So thank you. Thank you all for your time. Yeah.